Office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I tell you what, folks, it's a regular zoo here this morning. I can't get Carla out of here. Lonnie and Carla are talking. George is over here ready to go, so you better be ready because George is ready. Who are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Oscar Poole.
Oh, I thought I recognized you. How are you doing, dear friend?
I'm doing fine.
Huh?
Thanks for having me on the program today.
Well, my dear friend, I was a little upset with you, but let me explain it. Can I explain just a little?
Yes, yes.
Never been mad, never been angry, just a little upset. There's a difference.
Wow.
I was just a little upset.
What?
Because every day I went on Facebook and you were eating somewhere in Texas. You're like, oh, I'm at this rib joint, or I'm at this fish joint, or I'm here and I'm here. I'm like, hey.
Well, you know, I found the best barbecue in Texas.
In Texas. You got to clear that up? Folks, that was Texas, not Georgia.
Well, you know, I'm not going to say that. You know, we used to say we're the top in the first in the world, the best.
Working on top 10.
Top 10.
Right. We solved that.
I'm satisfied with that. But the best barbecue in Texas, at Lavon, Texas, I put it on Facebook and told the world about it, and they love me for that. I found the best Mexican restaurant down near the George Bush Library, where I was in the Oval.
I'm sitting here one morning and I get a picture. Oscar sends me, I look and here I get a picture. It says, Oscar. I said, what's he doing now? You were sitting behind the desk.
I was on the phone with Trump. They thought somebody thought I found the best breakfast in Glen Rose, Texas, in the Hill Country. And I said on the blog, put it on there, and they're all Facebook friends.
Folks, Oscar Poole here, our dear friend, traveled out to Texas with his lovely wife, Edna, his bride of
66 years.
66.
And we recorded 2 years before that. Can you believe Ed and I have had a relationship of 68 years? Think about that.
We love you, Edna. Okay, boy, bless you, Edna. All right, now wait a minute, let me say something. Let me say something nice about you.
All right.
Go on Facebook, folks. Find Colonel Oscar Poole. Oscar Poole, find him on Facebook. Make friends and go down through there and look. This young man here went out to Texas, and when he takes a trip, he documents it. I love it. He documents it. He takes pictures all the way. Everywhere he stops, he takes pictures. You were sending us messages in the morning, loud and clear from Louisiana. Yeah. So go on Facebook, find Oscar Poole. Check out his documented pictures of his great trip to Texas. One thing I want to know, tell me about some of the great people you met in those restaurants. Talk about food, but I know you. When you go in, you say hello to people.
Well, there were two big reasons. About 50 reasons, but about two big ones was my granddaughter, Stephanie Poole, who graduated from North Texas University in Denton with a business degree. I forget in management, or she told me not quite that. She married a guy named James Drum. They're at the house today, right here in East LJ. And they're getting married in September. And he is going to be the heir of a lucrative, I like that lucrative business. I do. A glass company. A glass company. And she's appropriate. They're here this week. They came check out the wedding down in Destin, Florida. It's going to be on the beach. And I'm going to be there. I asked her to wear my shorts, but she said as long as they were, I had my blue denim shorts on, and that wasn't good enough. She wanted me to wear at least khaki shorts.
Oh.
But Stephanie Poole was my number one reason.
I understand that. I agree.
Number two, you'll never guess. Edna, my wife of 66 years. I'm so proud of her, and I hope, Edna, you're listening on that iPad of yours, and there are too. We got folks in Texas listening today.
Texas?
Texas, where I went. Brenda Tunis, are you listening, Brenda? I told her she's a BFF.
Oh, is she?
Brenda Tunis Drum. She's a BFF, and so is Christy, and so is Angie, and so are you.
Tell me about some of your new friends. America's great, isn't it? It is greatest country in the world. When you travel and you get out of the car and you go in these restaurants and you go in these stores and you meet America, it's great, isn't it?
Yes. I have a series. I've got 3 radio series now. Spotlight USA, heard on this station at 10 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday. and also in the station down in Florida where it's produced in the studios there. And we have 2 new series. I want one played. I want you to hear it next week. God Bless America. Right along that line. God bless America. Amen. And then Climb Every Mountain. And that's the one where Greg Poole is the announcer with me. And he ends the program. I'm not going to tell you how it is. You have to listen next Tuesday to hear it.
Let me say this to you. Let me ask you this. You went to the Presidential Library, George Bush's, George
Yes.
W. Bush.
Yes.
Did you enjoy your trip to the Presidential Library?
Oh, yeah, my second trip there. I told Michael, our son, our policeman's son, who's going to retire soon, 32 years there. I'm very proud of Michael. And I have been in the original Oval Office in Washington at the Capitol. So while that's not a fake thing, it's, what do you call a thing like that? It's his library. It's
Replica.
Replica.
They did a replica of the Oval Office because when I went to the Reagan Library in Simi, California, they did a replica of the Oval Office, and it was all set up just like Reagan's office.
I felt the ambience of George W. Bush. And I tell you, when you go to Dallas, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, go to the George W. Bush Library. It's on the campus of SMU, Southern Methodist University. All right, museum is our library, and it's inspiring. It's inspiring.
You made some notes. I want to make sure we have time for your notes.
Oh, I came back with 50 new Facebook friends.
Okay, that's
And
50?
and I'm reading. And 30 of them are. You can't read this. 30 of them.
Can you? I'm worried if you
And 30 of them, George, are BFFs. George McClellan, you listening? By the way, George, you're committed to play the bagpipes at my funeral. When I die, hallelujah, by and by.
Yeah, that's in.
All right.
If I'm alive, I'll be there.
And all of you are invited to my funeral. It's going to be on the front porch of Poole's Barbecue here in East LJ. I don't want to have a funeral service in some old funeral home. God bless. Huh?
When?
Oh, 2054. That's 38 years. Quit laughing, Lonnie. Lonnie, you're invited too.
Did you see the text message on? It says Poole's Mike is covering his face.
I just sent you that.
Oh, is that from you?
Oh, now
Oh,
you mean you want to see me? Oh, by the way, a good friend, Joe McCutcheon.
who?
Joe McCutcheon.
Have I ever met him?
He is the #1 call-in man in America.
Oh, Joe!
Yeah.
I'm having fun. I'm just having so much fun. I'm being silly.
And Joe told me to be sure and say that we are going to encourage the people in the world, and we're already doing it. You know, Poole's Barbecue, I'll say a little bit about that, is the encouragement capital, spelled with an O-L. Now, LJ is a capital, A-L. You know the difference? A-L and O-L. We're the O-L. We're the encouragement capital of the world, and we're also the Center for Free Enterprise. Did you know that 7 years ago, I think it was, Joe and I formed the McCutcheon Poole Small Business Coalition, and I got to present that in Washington, D.C. to Grover Norquist, who is president of ATR, appointed by Reagan.
I think Trump should come to East LJ and eat barbecue.
You said it. We've got some. No, we're seriously.
I think he should. I think he should come up here to East LJ at Poole's Barbecue, and we'll have 20,000 people. I don't know where we'll put them.
Well, we'll put
them. We'll figure out something.
We'll bust
it's just like your mom used to say, "Come on to the house. Do you have room? We'll figure out something, right?"
Yeah, we'll knock a hole in the wall. Well, we had a great time. I can go on and on. I mentioned the restaurants and Stephanie. I think Stephanie's listening right now, along with Edna and other folks. Trump, you mentioned Trump. Bob McCune, you know him? Mm-hmm. He was a former congressman from Cincinnati. He's a brother of, what's her name, Lehman? Nancy Lehman, I think.
Yes, Nancy Lehman.
And
Ohio.
He is a close friend to Newt Gingrich, and we've got the contacts, and this thing might happen. The potential for bringing Trump to Poole's Barbecue is good. By the way, you know, you're.
If they can't get Trump, no, I'm gonna say it. If they can't get Trump, here's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, I know what it is. Go ahead.
I'll dye my hair, and we'll come over. We'll tell people that Trump's here, and I'll show up over there.
And I'll wear a wig.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll wear this suit. Well,
We'll go through the circle. You wear that suit, and I'll get a Trump wig, and we'll say, "Man, did you see Donald Trump?" Lonnie, go take pictures. Say, Colonel Poole had Donald Trump. And
you know, this could be his mainstay in Georgia. He hadn't got time to go to 12 places or 10 or 5. He can come to Poole's Barbecue because we are really going to pull out all the stops for Donald J. Trump. Now, I'm not political. You know, my radio programs are nonpartisan and not political.
I understand.
And they're calling me down there the Paul Harvey of the 21st century. At least my programs we attempt to make them Paul Harvey-ish.
I like that.
Human interest, God bless America, climb every mountain. Oh, I'm going to go
What are
ahead.
you trying to say? You're not involved in politics anymore?
No, I didn't say that.
I'm not trying to.
I'm not trying to say that. A little on my blogs.
A little?
A little.
Yeah.
On these radio programs, I certainly am going to deal with my concerns for America. Our country is headed in the wrong direction. I want it stopped, and I pray God it will.
Concerns for
America
is not politics. Politics.
Amen.
Politics.
Amen. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Concerns for America is nonpartisan.
I'm trying to tell you that.
Oh, I'm catching on. I might be catching on, don't even realize.
Hey, by the way, Brian, I appreciate you and Lisa and George, the whole crew, and Lonnie too. You are American. That's what we're about. American success story. Joe's going to like this. It's true. There are 28 million of us, small businesses, and we employ 70% of the nation's workforce. We are more than them. Let me objective. Ford, GM, GE, more than Lowe's, more than Home Depot, and more than CVS. Really, that's true. And the only thing is, we're not organized. The SBA, they think they're organized. They don't do much. You hardly ever hear from them. They were on the same program I was in Washington. And you know, I got to speak to the speaker.
Did you?
Yeah. And well, I know you don't like, I told this before, Boehner. I know you don't care.
I don't like it.
I don't think you do. Now you asked me some, I think I'm, hey, I want to say, Glen Rose, Texas, that's in the heart of well, not exactly the heart of the hill country. My friend Lynn Wright, who taught me to fly, bought a ranch down there. And he bought the old McCoy of Hatfields and McCoy, one branch of the McCoys from West Virginia. You know where that is?
Yes, I do.
He bought the place there. Tony Wright Morgan and Jack Morgan and Cooper. Did you see that picture or two with Cooper out there?
Yes, I did.
I was for Lisa.
Was it?
Yeah. Well,
I want to share something with you, folks. It is we're coming up at close to 9:12. We're going to take a break in just a minute. I'm going to just a couple more minutes here with my dear friend Colonel Oscar Poole, and then I'm going to have to head out, and I'm going to leave the ship in great hands between George and Oscar. They're going to have a lot of fun and enjoy telling you probably traveling stories or whatever they want to do. It's I have faith, trust, all those big words. But I want to say something to you this morning, okay? You are always saying so many kind words, and I want to say something to my friend George Wynn out there and my friend Joe McCutcheon. And I can't even begin because I don't want to leave anybody's name out. But why I have you here with me? When you tell people LJ is the encouragement capital of the world, folks, these are not words. There's words and there's empty words. And I want to thank you because Lisa and I are closing in on 6 years here at FetchYourNews.com. And you're not a Johnny-come-lately with encouragement. You're not. You did not wait and I'm not being negative, but you did not wait to see if we got here. You did not wait to see how big or how fast our organization would grow. From day one for 6 years, you have encouraged us, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
It didn't just start. you and Joe McCutcheon and the encouraging small business capital. It doesn't matter if somebody starts a small business, comes from the heart, and works hard. I can guarantee them today that you're going to encourage them.
Yes, you can. You know, Ed and I worked not 24/7. We worked 12 hours a day.
Why did you only work half days? I didn't know you worked half days.
We worked 12 hours.
Why'd you go home early?
I
let Bernie Sanders
we were
know.
$35,000 in.
You know, if Bernie Sanders gets elected, you only have to work half days. That's it.
Well,
all right, go on.
Don't get me off on that.
Well, I just got you started so you and George have something to talk about.
Don't worry, George's got the ideas.
Huh?
He's very articulate.
What do you got? Talk to me. What do you say?
Well,
When you started, you worked 12 hours a day over at the barbecue.
Oh, yeah. Our first day's receipts was $208, and half of that, 50%, was profit. Because we did the work. I put the meat on out there in the outside, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We still do 5 and 5:30, 7 days a week, on vacation or no. One time, Ed ought to be here to tell this story, because she was there on one apple festival, and we didn't know hardly what that was. But I left town. Can you imagine I left town on apple festival, and I left the barbecue with her, and she said, demonstrate, she washed her hands, cash register, washed her hands, prepared sandwiches. You know, I have a pretty good education, and now I'm cashing in on that. I am on radio programs. I'm bringing together my education, my experience. I went all the way through school, 10 years beyond high school, and I have 5 degrees. I have 98.6. But I have 5 earned degrees, you know, and they're all accredited. But you know how I found my niche?
How?
Making a barbecue sandwich on the side of that hill. And God said, watch out now. God said to me, I hear voices. God said to me, if you'll get on, yes, he did. He whispered it. If you'll get on the side of that hill and do the menial work, God, I will show the world what I will do. And he's done it.
I have one more thing. You came back from Texas the other day. You came in the office and you told me that you were re-energized. And I'm thinking to myself, thank God. And my prayer has changed to where I say, dear Lord, re-energize me the way you've done my dear friend, Colonel Poole. Tell me just a minute before I leave about being re-energized.
I want everybody to know, I am 86 years of age. Can you believe that? I am that. The calendar says that. Huh?
It's important that
George,
you believe it.
important that I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe it.
Okay.
What was I saying? What was I talking about?
We're talking about you being re-energized.
Yeah, re-energized. That's a word from Joe McCutcheon.
Yes.
Oh, you need a bunny suit.
Huh?
You need a bunny suit.
Did you hear about the breaking news down in Florida? The guy broke into the bank and stole the calendar. He got 12 months.
Okay, we're going on that. We're getting out of here on that. I'm running late. It's 9:17, folks. I have to be somewhere this Friday morning. I have to run up to Blue Ridge, and I hate to sound just run up there. I ask. I don't come on here and preach to people and push faith on this show, but I do ask for your prayers this morning on what I have to do.
May I tell what that is?
Well, yeah.
My good friend here is going, you talking about preaching, is going to preach a funeral, right?
Yeah.
Today at 11 o'clock, up in Blue Ridge, of a dear friend of yours. Here's the kind of man that I'm sitting next to, Brian Pritchard. Are you a preacher?
No.
Were you ever?
No.
He is today.
He used to be a mafia guy.
No, George said Mafia. No, he's not. George, I'm very proud of you. You know that.
I know that. And it means a lot knowing, I know that.
This man's going to a funeral, and he's going to preach it. Now.
Right now.
And George and I are going to take over.
Now,
George is.
And now on yours, I'm just a director of media.
Oh, you're committed to cover my funeral.
Yeah, I'm director of media.
Yeah.
I'll make sure all the media knows.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I got it covered. Folks, we got to go to break. I'm your host. When we return, George and Oscar, I have no idea what's going to happen. He's wearing a suit. George is ready over here. Stay tuned right after these messages. George and Oscar will take us out.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine.
El Rey.
El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any 2 freshly made pizzas with high quality, fresh ingredients and sauce made with California vine ripened tomatoes. Now get your favorite specialty recipes like meat lovers, backyard barbecue chicken, or 5-pepper pepperoni. So you never have to compromise with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty. Anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Switch and save at Schottenkirk Ford. Find quality pre-owned trucks under $20,000 and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. Shop the best selection of certified pre-owned Fords in the area. Switch today and shop our network of over 500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. We'll even deliver it to you. Plus, every vehicle sold comes with Schottenkirk Customer Care, which offers you extra protection for no extra charge. Make the switch to Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Everyone, this is George McClellan in the last quarter of the 2 hours of 8 to 10 of the FetcherNews.com comedy hour, and we still have Oscar Poole here, and I'm going to sit in for the last 30 minutes just to chat and talk. And you know, last month you made your trip to Texas with Edna. Last month I made a road trip to Texas without Edna, and that's my Edna, not your Edna. But I was in a restaurant, a cafe, a roadside cafe. This is interesting. I was sitting there, and a truck driver came in, and he said he ordered 3 flat tires, 2 headlights, and two running boards. And the waitress was obviously new. And she went to the cook. She says, "This guy wants 3 flat tires, 2 headlights, and 2 running boards. What's that?" And the cook said, "Well, he wants 3 pancakes over easy, 3 pancakes, 2 fried eggs over easy or sunny side up, and 2 slabs of bacon." She said, "I get it." Then she gets a little bowl and puts some beans in it, baked beans, kind of like what you go to get to the trucker. The trucker says, "What's that for?" "Well, as long as you're waiting, you might as well gas up."
That's pretty good.
I told you to be prepared. Anyway, this is Memorial Day weekend. It's picnic time. It's flag waving time. It's time to defend our rights from the weirdos who want us to take down the crosses on our roads. We need to fight back. We need to resist. One person says, "I don't like them, I'm offended." Well, then tell them to go up into the woods where there's no crosses. And
That's right.
And they can't be offended. But we can't just fall to somebody who says they don't like it. Let them go file a lawsuit, and then next week we'll take the crosses down. In the meantime, this is a Judeo-Christian country. It is not a Muslim country.
That's right.
And we really don't care what the Muslims think or what the atheists think. We've got to protect our moral rights and our moral responsibility to live as a society, a civilized society, not one fall into anarchy. So having said that, the good news is, or for some people it's good news, I approve, is that Donald Trump finally won. And I'll read my short take on that in a few minutes. He finally got his 1,237 delegates.
That's one more than he needed, right?
Well, he's got 2 more than he needed, actually. And it was a couple in North Dakota, delegates in North Dakota bring it around. Yet there are still 6 states for Republican primaries that haven't completed yet.
California.
So he will definitely. There's no problem. There is no problem. On the other hand, the Democratic Party has got to be in disarray, because now the IG, the State Department's Inspector General, dumped a report on Hillary Clinton that is devastating. It remarks and reveals her criminality. The FBI is sitting on their report, or they're getting ready to sit on it. I don't know if they've interrogated her yet, but they've interrogated all her staff. And I'll tell you, when a federal agent, an FBI agent, when they sit down and give you an interrogation and you lie to them, that is the worst thing in the world, because they do not ask questions they do not already know the answers to. And I did that for 23 years. And
you were in the intelligence.
Well, I was a criminal investigator as well. We did everything. But you interrogate somebody, you know the answer before you ask the question. And if these smart people think that they're going to lie to an FBI agent in an interrogation after they've been advised of their rights, their Miranda rights, they're in trouble.
You just made a good point when you say that they know the answer before they ask a question. I like that.
Well, you have to. And every once in a while you'll find attorney, a new attorney in a courtroom will ask a question of a witness, particularly police officer, and they didn't know the answer, and they got caught and made to look foolish. So anyway, that's coming up. But so now that Trump is he has moved beyond the presumptive label. He is now going to be the candidate. People are asking, well, what are your policies going to be? And up to now, he's just thrown out ideas. Ideas can be discussed, but they can't be attacked. And I will remind you, he said that we got to stop the Muslim inflow because until we figure this out. Well, actually, in 1946 or 47, there was a law that prohibited the inflow of Muslims and the Quran. And because they were antithetical to the United States in our Constitution, meaning they did not agree. And that law, as far as I know, has not been rescinded. So we need to search that. I mentioned that already previously in a short take that I had written and discovered. So there's a law against the importation of Muslims. That makes Obama a criminal yet again, in my estimation. And but I must say, I just mentioned Obama. You know, when no one talks about Obama and uses the word president.
May I say a word about Trump? Please, my fellow Republicans, let's not talk about a third party or anything else. Let's get behind Donald J. Trump for president. I ask you to do this. Forgetting those things which are behind. There are some things about Trump I didn't like, but God has used not so purist, that's the word, not so purist men to do his will. Could Trump be that? And don't laugh. Please, let's unite behind Donald Trump.
Well, you know, you talk about God, and there's a rejuvenation now in our country of our attitudes towards our God and Christianity. There might be a reevaluation of what constitutes Christianity, because I think that for the last several years, our Christian churches have gone off the rails. They've refused to defend the faith. They've refused to defend the churches. They've allowed the government to tell them they can or can't do what they can and can't do on the basis of whether they get a taxation or not. That all has to change.
That's right.
Why should a preacher not be able to preach and tell what if the people in his congregation do not like it, then they can leave the church. But there's not the government to come in there and tell him you can't say.
George, you have. I want to call your attention back to what you said. We are a Judeo-Christian, and that includes Catholics, Protestants, Lutherans, Baptists, Nazarenes, all of us. I like that phrase because we are a Judeo-Christian, and that says it.
Well, our Constitution is based on those.
That's right.
But they also recognized when they made the Constitution, our forefathers, the religious freedoms, that the Christian church could be oppressive as well, as the British showed. So that's why they put that First Amendment in there that says that Congress will not establish religion, and that's all it says, that Congress will not establish religion. Nowhere in there does it say that Congress or the government can control religion or tell you what you can say, what you can't. Somehow we've molded into that.
I just saw on the Facebook today, Ralph Barker put those crosses right here in Gilman County. Do we want to lose that?
Well, they're there, and I don't think they're going to come down until after this show's over. Now, another thing Trump was talked about was what's his energy plan. He summed it up in a few words: bring back mining jobs, and he's talking about coal, right? And cancel the Paris Accord.
Paris?
The Paris Accord.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on the carbon.
Okay.
Okay. You know, if you look around at our world, we see a bright sunny sky. There was a time when I lived in the Southern California area where my valley was filled with smog, and that wasn't good. It was from automobiles and choking pollution from vehicles. And I'm glad that a group like the EPA then came along and said, well, we got to clean up our air. I like clean air and I like clean water. Okay.
Regarding-
we have got that far. We have absolutely, just a minute.
Yes.
We have, I'm on a train of thought.
You're right.
So we have absolutely got that far, but still, there's smog in that valley after years. Well, when you look at the history of the Valley of the San Bernardinos, Indian fires even made smog. That valley's designed where the smoke and the fog and everything hangs in it. A good wind will blow it out, and you can see all the way to the Pacific Ocean from where I used to live up in the mountains. So coal now has progressed to the point where it can be cleaned, scrubbed,
You're right.
and made useful. It will return jobs. Although I have to say, coal mines will automate. They will have robots in them, like automobile factories do. Robots are the next big thing to reduce the employment, not reduce, to increase the unemployment.
You know, George, my wife Edna is from West Virginia, and we're going up there to see her folks next month. But coal, you know, Charlie, who eats with us a lot out at Mike's, he said, he has proven to me, and I'm affirming what you just said, there is such a thing as clean coal. He was a big shot in Duke Energy,
yeah.
And Charlie has done that. And I've asked him to write a 3 or 4 page condensed version of that.
Of what?
Of clean coal. Because they're saying up there is no such thing as clean coal. Charlie says there is, and you've said it. I believe it. They hadn't heard of science.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we have the science that will clean the coal before it's burned.
That's right.
Or clean it while it's burned. So anyway, we love this. On the other hand, we've got this $1.5 billion sun solar outfit out west, which has finally achieved its maximum output. It has set itself on fire. Not only has it ignited birds as they flew through the air over it by focusing sun rays, now it has set itself on fire. Isn't that amazing? And now we have conflicting rules. We have windmills all over the West, all over the Midwest.
I've seen them.
And they're chopping up birds, particularly the big birds, the eagles, and vultures, and the hawks and things. But so, what rule is going to govern the control of those protection of those animals? Is it more important to have electricity generated from a machine that it costs more to keep heated in the wintertime so it won't freeze up than the electricity it produces? Or is it more important to protect our wildlife and let our birds, protect the eagles, which was once an endangered species?
Well said, well said.
So, you know, we have all these feel-good things that have unintended consequences that are absolutely no good at all. That's just liberalism. That's the feel good instead of following the law. The law should have common sense to it, and not just how we feel.
Right.
We meant well. So the Democrat will always tell you that. Well, we meant well. She meant well. That was their intention to do good, while everything is already destroyed. Now, I mentioned, I was going on another track earlier, Obama, president. No one calls him president. No American refers to him as president. They just refer to him as Obama. At least Obama didn't disgrace us and humiliate us this time by apologizing for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Just remember Pearl Harbor. That's all you got to do. Remember Pearl Harbor. And the Japanese of those days were taught, trained, conditioned to die for the emperor. Well, they died for the emperor, and they wouldn't quit until the emperor quit. And when he quit, then they did. There was a few diehards that thought they could carry on, but they didn't. So I don't apologize for that, Obama, at all. It brought world peace, ended the war, saved my uncle, saved my dad, and saved hundreds of other GIs because they did not have to go to Japan.
Amen.
So that's my comment on that. That's the Memorial Day. We've got a lot of things. You know, the Memorial Day was originally Decoration Day. It was based on World War I, not World War II.
That's right.
Then we had the Second Great War, World War II, and they changed it from Decoration Day to Memory Day of our fallen soldiers and those who served. Since then, we've had Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraqi freedom, several other wars, and all our young people who have volunteered and gone forth to fight, come back, or die for their country, they have to be remembered. That's the reason for all those crosses out there with their names on them. I saw one yesterday. Just of all those hundreds there, I saw one. He just died a couple of months ago. Hurtis Key. Did you know Hurtis Key?
I don't think so.
Hurtis Key lived up on 515. He was born and raised in this county, way up in Sussex. He talked about, he was an Air Force retiree. He retired from the Air Force. And I remember Hurtis talking about coming out of that area with a mule when he was a kid. And I've been up there with my four-wheel drive, and I had to cross the creek, ford the creek at least 4 times to get up to where that old church was that some guy burned down a few years ago, up into that old community. And I had to change my wheel bearings when I got it out, because it was rolling and fast. It was filled with sand and stuff. So, you know, we still have areas in our county that are remote. I mean, remote. To get there, you got to want to get there if there's any road left. But anyway, we're in an interesting political season. I see the foundations of political organizations start to crack. Already the Democrat Party is their foundation is cracking, and so is the Republicans. Trump has broken the back of the Republican Party's elitists, and if he can, and I think he is smart enough. I hope he's smart enough to recognize when they're going to try to sway him to do what they want him to do. But he's got one big problem, and that's the Council of Foreign Relations. Nothing happens without that group of people passing on it. Go to your internet and look up the Council of Foreign Relations, and you find out how much power that group, almost a secret group, no one ever talks about it, but how much of power and authority they wield over who runs the government. Because it includes everything that we do, trade agreements, treaties, whether we're going to burn fuel or not, pollute the air. So anyway.
One of my friends, George, just said to me, as I announced my support for Donald Trump, he said, what a dangerous risk. I said, isn't that what faith is? Risk?
Well, interesting you say that. There's an article I was reading it earlier in the Examiner, the Washington Examiner, that talked about Trump saying that we're entering 4 dark years. Well, no, we're entering the bright sunlight of
new day.
Of a new day. We're leaving 8 dark years. Trump is an open book. We know all about Trump. We know everything about Trump. We know practically nothing about Obama.
That's right.
Practically
they're sealed. They're sealed.
MSNBC made an error the other day. They called Trump President Trump. Anyway, I think it's time for our sponsors again. Lonnie, what do you think? All right, let's let her go. We'll have a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll come back, and I'll regale you with my latest essay that I wrote last night, as a matter of fact.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any 2 freshly made pizzas with high quality, fresh ingredients and sauce made with California vine ripened tomatoes. Now get your favorite specialty recipes like meat lovers, backyard barbecue chicken, or 5-pepper pepperoni. So you never have to compromise with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty. Anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Switch and save at Schottenkirk Ford. Find quality pre-owned trucks under $20,000 and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. Shop the best selection of certified pre-owned Fords in the area. Switch today and shop our network of over 500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. We'll even deliver it to you. Plus, every vehicle sold comes with Schottenkirk Customer Care, which offers you extra protection for no extra charge. Make the switch to Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Well, welcome back to BKP Fetcher News, BKP in the morning. This is George McClellan sitting in for Brian Pritchard, who's off on another important mission. And with me is my good friend, Colonel Oscar Poole of Oscar Poole's Pig on the Hill Barbecue, starting place for several campaigns, political campaigns.
That's right.
That's right.
Between 75 and 100 GOP rallies.
Have started at Oscar Poole's. How many of them succeeded? Johnny Iselson's did, right?
Well, Chambliss and Coverdale. I haven't thought about that, but a bunch of them, and some of them lost.
Well, I'll tell you, they started Oscar Poole's because he's got the conservative capital of Georgia sewed up right up here in Ellijay. Anyway, we were talking about the new changes in the political landscape, and I wrote this one last night. This essay is called "It's Trump." Oh my. It's all over but the shouting. Trump has achieved the required 1,237 delegate vote count and will be the GOP candidate for president. There will be no brokered convention, no behind-the-scene machinations to bring in Jeb Bush or Mitt Romney. No, nothing. Oh my. The GOP establishment is opposed to Donald Trump. He's a threat to their corrupt lifestyle, and now they've run out of options. Either they embrace the candidate, and some of them seem to be doing that, most of them as a matter of fact, or they flock to Hillary only because they believe if in office she will continue the big government depredations against the American people. Because Hillary is a part of the establishment, nothing will change, they hope. At this point, I believe the Democrat Party is actually in deep turmoil. Clearly, because Obama has allowed the release of the State Department's IG report on Hillary's mishandling of classified documents. That was a very negative report. That constitutes tacit approval by President Obama for her removal. I believe the next shoe to fall on Hillary's head will be the FBI investigation on her criminality. That will also expand to include her Clinton Crime Foundation schemes, now under investigation for possible RICO violations. Oh my. The vast wealth the Clintons have amassed while she was Secretary of State, and since, from the Middle East, OPEC nations, Wall Street financial institutions, and other sources seeking political favors when she would become the president, are now additional objects of criminal inquiry, and that will adversely affect her candidacy as the anointed Democrat standard bearer. Shakespeare was right. Oh, what tangled webs we weave when at first we practice to deceive, or something like that. Hillary is now entangled in the web of her own lies. The State Department, she said, allowed her to use her own private server. They didn't. That's a lie. As a matter of fact, she was the State Department. And the State Department, like all government agencies, must operate on rules previously made that cannot be ignored, except by the Clintons, of course. She knew the rules and continued to ignore them. After her server was hacked, she was told to use the State Department server. She refused, not wanting facts to surface that her efforts were solely to enrich the coffers of the Clinton Foundation, not to do her job as the Secretary of State, a position she used as a vehicle only to enhance and enrich her foundation. As expected, Hillary blames the State Department for sloppy record keeping, for not preserving her real-time records. Of course, she herself deleted over 30,000 of her records. On CNN, her spokesman Brian Fallon said, and I quote, "The State Department system was in such disarray it thwarted Clinton's efforts to meet the standards under law for filing and saving her records." What? Does that man really believe that we're going to believe that? Does he really think that he can convince America that she is not a corrupt individual? The IG report simply said she did not comply with the department's policies that were implemented in accordance with the Federal Records Act. So there we have it. What are the Democrats to do? Will Hillary bow out peacefully for the good of her party? I don't count on it. Will the DNC chairman Debbie Wasserman Schultz put a word in her ear about saving the party? Don't count on that either. Will Bernie seize the initiative? He'll certainly try. We can already hear the chairs falling over as Democrats rush to repair the damage of having a criminal pre-selected as their presidential candidate. Oh my. Look for poor old Uncle Joe Biden to come to the rescue. It will be his swan song, his last great act of public service, to throw himself on the flaming pyre of Democrat dreams to rescue the drowning party from its inevitable fate, extinction. Now, having said that and watched the triumph of Donald Trump over 17 other candidates for President of the United States as the Republican candidate, I am disappointed in the electorate. I've mentioned in a previous essay that we are a nation of sheep. We did not throw the bums out. We did not throw out congressmen who voted for Obamacare. We did not throw out congressmen who voted to fund Planned Parenthood. We did not get rid of these people. Why did we not get rid of these people? why is the Republican Party still thwarted by people who go along with the dying leadership?
I hear you real well, George, but let's don't focus on that. Let's focus on the election of Donald Trump.
Those are the people who vote, and they're voting our money. And so they're either going to get on the bandwagon or they're not going to get on the bandwagon. And if they sit down there and thwart what needs to be done, there's going to be a revolution in this country.
Oh, God save us from that. We need a revolution, a peaceful one. And let's focus on, let's don't just say the kettle is black, the kettle is black, the kettle is black, the kettle is black, the kettle gets blacker. Let's focus. I didn't say you said it, but I'm talking about us, all of us. Let's get behind. I already made the play behind Trump. Let's unite and let's be big guys and let's forget those things which are behind and press toward the mark of the high calling. And
well said. You look splendid today too. You got the gravy stain off your coat.
No,
it's all cleaned up. Your tie's a little,
to prove to you,
a little shorter. Maybe you ought to get a bow tie sometime.
Well, that's right. I do have one.
With
it won't match this.
Oh, well,
I want to prove to you my conservatism.
I know your conservatism. I have
right
no
there.
question about that.
Do you see that?
No. What is it? Safety pin.
Safety pin. They know what a safety pin looks like. I have 3 of these suits, and I'll be buried in one of these.
Oh, you got a clean one out. Okay, very good. They get, you put a lot of time in those things, and you're a recognized character, particularly at GOP conventions. Are you going to Cleveland this year?
Well, I don't know. I'm not planning on it right now. I've been to 3, but I'm not planning on it unless somebody out there makes me an honorary delegate. I might go, and I'm not even planning on going to Augusta to our state convention. But then you never know. This is the first year in 15 years I had not been an elected delegate to all the way through at least the state.
Yeah, well, the state convention. That's just an after fact. That's just a party now. There's no sense even going to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 former GOP chairmen of Gilmer County. That's us.
That's us. That's it. We're prepared to draw from.
It's been a privilege today, George, to be with you, and to hear. It's a privilege hearing you every day, nearly every day, on your essays. And I called you one time Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
What?
Well, yeah.
You didn't like him too much.
Well, no, he was a great news presenter.
Yes, he was.
But he was biased. But then so am I. Sorry, I can't. His bias was leftist.
And I want to thank all of you out there for listening to my radio programs at 10 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday on FetcherNews.com.
So anyway, I have, we can tell jokes, I guess, for a few more minutes. I got an interesting story. I think you were not at Mike's yesterday, were you?
No.
Well, it was a aircraft. Well, I won't tell that one. It's a good story, but some people might misinterpret, and I don't want to do that.
Did you hear about that Texan talking to the Eastern Kentuckian about how big Texas was? And the Texan said, out west in the Brown Mountains, you can climb up to a top and you can see 100 miles. And the Kentuckian said, that's nothing. You can climb up there in Hazard, Kentucky, halfway up the hill and see all the way to the moon. LOL, laugh.
All the way to the moon. You can't do that in Texas, though. It's too deep.
I don't know.
All right. The definition of an extremist. What is an extremist? It's an ambiguous issue, primarily dependent on opinion rather than fact. So if Obama thinks that we're terrorists or extremists, that's just his opinion. It's not based in fact. And Lonnie, we're about ready to wrap this up. Listen, I want to thank everybody. I want you all to have a great weekend, a Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy your families. Enjoy the veterans in your families. And if not, enjoy the veterans of other people's families. I think that there's a memorial service tomorrow at the LJ Memorial Bridge. Go attend it. There's names of anybody from this county there that can be recognized. So I'm going to say goodbye from FetcherNews.com. We'll see you Tuesday morning. And Lonnie, you can take us out of here.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Happy Memorial Day.